All right, so I had a dream last night, a couple of dreams last night. See if I can remember them. Dream time.
Dream time.
All right, so me and your mom was visiting, I believe it was Washington, D.C. And we were seeing the sights or something. It was like a Barack Obama museum or something there in the middle of the water in D.C. And nobody really liked this museum because they said it was overdone, like it was too much to do. I can't think of the word to use, but it's like the museum lit up and it had this big light show, and people disliked this museum because of all of this lights, and it's like it outshined all the other buildings, and they was upset because of that. Anyway, we was out on a raft in this water. Going around the building and looking at it. We didn't really go in there or anything. And then we left. But we washed up on the shore, and we was like I said, we was on a raft. We were in kind of a swimsuit kind of thing, I guess. I don't remember if it was a swimsuit, but we were on a raft and we were in water. And so when we washed up on the shore, we got our raft and we got our stuff and we started walking off. Your mom was leading the way. But I noticed that people were looking at us. You know, I thought they were looking at us because we were fit or because we were pretty or whatever. And I noticed all these people that were sitting on these like lawn chairs were looking. They stopped and they started looking at us as we were walking around. Your mom didn't pay any attention. And I was trying not to look. I was looking down. But I was like, dang, we must be interesting to these people. But anyway, I'm following your mom as we're going toward this building. Now, this big old building, your mom went to the first door and it was locked. She didn't, wasn't able to get into this door, and then one of us noticed that there was another door right beside it, like an elevator. So we went over to the elevator, and we got on the elevator, and there was two guys already on the elevator, and they was just kind of standing there in the elevator. And when we got in, the doors kind of shut, and then one of them said, "Oh, well, what floor y'all going to?" Like they didn't push the button. And so when we got on, they said, "What floor are you going to?" But there wasn't any choice. There was number 3 or down. You could go to the 3rd floor or you could go down. And I looked down, and the guy pushed the button. He pushed 3, and it was the only button there was number 3. So apparently we went up to the 3rd floor. So we got to the 3rd floor, and in the 3rd floor of this building, it's like a big school. It's like a hospital, school, office building kind of environment where you got this big old desk, this high desk with people behind it take care of all of this business, and you got the people in front. It's kind of like the where you get a license from, down there in Monroeville, where you got that little small area where all the patrons are standing, and you got the area back there where all of the worker bees are with their computers and all of that. And we're standing there kind of waiting in line. There's a really tight area. And there's a lot of people in this area, and we're kind of waiting to get our turn up there. And this one guy walks through. He's a short African American. All the people in this dream are African Americans. Until later on, we see some Caucasians later on. We'll get to that. But they're this one dude. He's kind of short, kind of skinny, and he walks by and he starts talking about scholarships. He doesn't say if you want a scholarship, come with me or anything like that. He kind of says something like scholarships are for the best people. Or he just says something in code because the people who are there is like they don't, wait, he's talking to me. And so a bunch of them ran out with him and followed him to the scholarship area, and left us in this area with this desk or whatever. And so then seems like we go and we sit down. So you got it's kind of like I think we go into another room or whatever. It's like they're filling out applications or doing something in here where they're processing people. I don't know what it is, but we end up in this other room. Now in this other room, when you come through the door, there's like a walkway where you can walk straight past everybody. But on the right hand side, there's a bunch of desks and computers and people working with pencils and paper and telephones and all of this office environment. But on the right-hand side, it's just regular old school desks where, there's nothing really going on. It's just school desks. They ain't got no computers. They ain't got no nothing. There's a few people there in this area on the right-hand side, and then there's a bunch of people a few people on the left-hand side with us just sitting in these school desks. But there's a bunch of people on the right-hand side, busy. They running around. Like I said, they got computers. They're taking care of business. And so we're just sitting there waiting. Now, the whole time, like I said, I've been following your mom. Your mom has the lead. I'm following her around. She's leading here. Is whatever we're there for is to do with her. They really ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just kind of tagging along as the husband or whatever. But we get in this. We're sitting in this desk, this school type area, and we're looking straight across at them with all of their computers and all of this stuff. They're handling their business, and we're kind of just sitting over here, kind of like waiting, kind of like the DMV, where you kind of just waiting over here until they call your name or whatever. And in the meantime, your mom starts talking. She like goes into like this trance kind of thing, and she starts talking. Now, in reality, we are listening to the Third Testament of the Bible. It's playing in the background. And so your mom starts, that's what's actually going on in real time. But in my dream, your mom starts quoting the Third Testament. And she's actually just talking. And it's talking about spiritualization. It's talking about what happens to about what chapter did I say it was? I forgot. Well, we're talking about what goes on, after you die, how your spirit interacts, whatever. Your mom's quoting the Third Testament, and the people around are completely amazed by what she's saying. The other people that's over here with us, they're amazed. The people that's behind the office doing the work, they're amazed. Everybody's shocked. Whoa, what is she saying? What is she saying? And so she's kind of in a trance. She's kind of, she's kind of sitting there and she's kind of just talking, Well, when you're talking, she's quoting the Third Testament is what she's doing. And so when they come over, they're like, what is she talking? I say, well, she's talking about the Third Testament. I asked them, I said, well, I can show you, what's the document that she's talking from. And they're like, well, we can't really let you use the computer. So I start, trying to write down the app. They go to JesusComes.com and look at it there. And they can't find it. They're looking around. I don't see it. But anyway, they're amazed by what she's saying. They're completely shocked. And they're like, they want to get it. They're in love with what she's saying. They want to get it. They want to hear it. And they want to read it and all of this. And they can't really find it. I'm trying to tell them, trying to give them the address so they can find it on their computer or whatever. And so this goes on for a while. Like your mom's talking for a while, and they're all coming around. And so there's a guy on the right side, on the left-hand side on the other side of your mom, over here on the left of her. I'm sitting on the right, and then there's another guy behind her. Now, mind you, the people on the elevator, one of the guys on the elevator, I forgot when we got off the elevator, your mom stepped off the elevator first. And she's kind of like she's holding the door waiting for me to get off the elevator. But the other two guys, they walk off in front of me. And one of them kind of gives her the eye and kind of tries to, wink at her or whatever. And now that we're in this room, this schooling room with these desks, one of them, they're still trying to hit on your mom. They're making passes at her. Everybody's in love with your mom. The guys in love with her. The girls are looking at her like they're envious of her. Everybody's hearing her talk about these Third Testament. They all want to come and find out what she's talking about. But again, she's in a trance. So I'm telling her it's coming from the Third Testament. Now, mind you, the guy that was sitting behind her, he was going a little too far. He was like breathing down her neck and did it. So I ended up punching him in his forehead or whatever. But then we go from this and we get on a train kind of thing, and we're going down. We're traveling on this train. Now, as we're traveling on this train, it's going toward this mountainous area. It's like West Virginia type mountains. It would, houses would be up on the side of the mountain, and we're headed toward this building that's sitting on this mountain. And I'm looking at the building, and we've been in a corporate. It's like a corporate type environment, and I've been in that type of environments all the time. It's kind of like like a job interview or something that your mom is going to, and it's not me. I'm kind of familiar with it because I've been in that type of environment before. But it's not about me. It's about your mom. And so we go into the building, and I told your mom this dream earlier. And I couldn't remember what we were doing in the building, but it was something to do with medicine, something to do with some type of medicine. There were some Caucasian people there that started giving us tours of the facility there that was stuck inside of this mountain. It was on the side of the mountain, and we went up in the mountain into the building or whatever. Like I said, I can't remember what we were doing in there, but it was something to do with medicine. And when it was giving us a tour outside, they brought us back down to where the train was, back down to where we came in, and they was telling her how they were making medicine. I think your mom was doing something, going there, something to be a part of this big medical thing that they had going on. But when they opened up the boxcar, and showed us where they showed us where they were getting the medicine from. You know, like the source of the medicine, like what they was using to make the medicine. And it was these big drums. They was about this big, about this tall. And it was kind of, you know, like they had been in a train car a while. It was kind of, you know, but it was all food. I noticed pictures on it like apricots or figs. It had pictures of figs on it. Had pictures of this on it. And so I was like, wait a minute. I thought we was talking about medicine. So I was focused in on it. And one of the things had bananas. It had bananas on it. So they was using these fruits and vegetables to get medicine and make medicine out of it. And that's where your mom was there to I don't know, to help them or be a part of this organization. But anyway, everybody was enamored by your mom and all of this. And that's about all I remember. Now's the time you're supposed to ask questions and try to help me remember the rest.
Do you think that it could have been
Nope.
Go ahead. Just don't say it. Go ahead. Anybody got questions?
Did this dream, the thing when we went to the Washington D.C.,
Mm-hmm.
it was just me and you, right?
Mm-hmm.
No other family member, your mom, your sister, no other
Just me and you. Mm-hmm. Yep. The whole dream was just me and you, and there was other people there was a lot of people around. It was a very busy environment. Like you could tell it was like a big day for them. Like they were like a big hiring fest where, you know, they were bringing a bunch of people in. Like, you know, the rooms was too small for all of the people that were there. People were like standing on top of each other and moving around. It was a lot going on. A lot of people coming and going.
What do you think the significance of the elevator was? Seemed like it.
The elevator.
The third floor, the number 3. What does the number 3 represent?
3 is like I don't know much about numerology, but 3, you always think of 3 like the 3 test 3.
Complete.
3 is like a completion number where you always have 3 things, like the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Third Testament, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. You always get 3 of most stuff. That's how you know you got a complete thing, is when you got 3. Now 7 is the number of completion, but you know 3 is an important number too. Kind of forms.
What happens in the 3rd dimension?
You are in the 3rd dimension. Everything you see, feel, touch is in the 3rd dimension.
3D.
I don't think it had nothing to do with dimensions though. But it was the thing about the 3 is you could either go to the 3rd floor or you could go down, and that's what the guy said. He said, "Well, where y'all want to go?" And as he got ready to push the button, he said, "You can go to the 3rd floor or go down." And we said 3rd floor, but he had already pushed it. And when I looked down, the 3 was highlighted, and I couldn't see any other numbers, so I guess he was right.
Were any of these people you knew?
None of them.
Just me and you?
It was me and you. They were, no, it was, all of the women all of the people that were behind the desk,